What's going on, guys, and welcome to the first tactics video of FIFA 21. This is going to be a two-part little mini-series. What I'm going to do, I'm going to show you my primary tactic that I go to straight away in game, and then in the second episode I'm going to show you the other tactic and talk more about how I switch, when I switch, and whatever. I've only just brought this out a couple of weeks into the game due to me wanting to test it in FUT champs, really. Division rivals, obviously at the start it's a bit sketchy. You've got players in Div 1 that wouldn't be in Div 1 and whatever, so yeah, FUT champs was a good indicator. Obviously the only people in FUT champs were really people that were sweating to get into it, basically, so it was quite sweaty. I finished 20-4, so I had 6 games left at the end of the weekend, but I wanted to play in rivals to try and maximise the chance of getting a higher rank. Obviously this year it's changed a lot in that, and I actually managed to I went to bed on about 200 points above rank 2. I managed to stay there somehow, but yeah, so I got 4 rare mega packs for that instead of like 1 rare mega and 1 mega pack, so it was definitely worth it. So let's go into the first tactic. There's 2 main tactics on here that I like to use, which is the 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1, and there is, as you can see on screen, a 4-2-2, which is when you want to score a goal. Basically, you need everybody up the pitch. It's just slightly a bit more defensive than the 4-2-2, sorry. So it's not as open, but it is still quite attacking. But in this one, we're going to be actually talking about the 4-4-2, which is very balanced this year, very balanced. It seems to have the best of everything, but you do need to have certain players in certain positions to make this work. You can't just use like any centre mid, any right mid, any fullback. I'll talk about what kind of players you need. So let's go into the actual tactics first. You'll see defensive style unbalanced, no drop back. We're not bombs, we're fighting against it. If you struggle defending, probably do what you want, but you can go drop back. Nobody's going to judge you. We are, but nobody will know. I stay balanced. I don't like to drop back. I like to play the game at quite attacking. And we got width 4 and depth 4. So when you're defending, you're nice and tight at the back. Your fullbacks aren't out really wide. There isn't a massive gap between your centre back and your fullbacks, which is obviously what you want, because through balls are very, very good on this. Depth, we got 4. We're not. You'll see people on this drop back. We're going 4. So when we win the ball, we're not actually too deep. We can actually get out quite fast. As you can see, we're the starting position. The 4 midfielders are. The midfielders are ready to break, basically. They're not sitting back right on the edge of your box. You don't want that. You can't get out. You just get pressured, especially if somebody's using like a pressure on heavy touch or constant pressure tactic. You've got no chance. You've got no chance of getting out. Especially with... I had a problem with a certain player this weekend, and I'll tell you, it was one of my centre mids, and I'll tell you like in a bit when I get to that. But you need kind of like agile players. You need centre mids like Valverde, say, who can just like spring the attack, who can just get past his centre mid. Those kind of midfielders work a lot better than the second unnamed centre mid I'll name in a bit. Offensive style possession. I just feel on this one it works well. I've never used possession on any of the other FIFAs. I don't know why. But on this one it works really well. It just like players are in the right position, and when you're playing like 1-2s between your like left mid, centre mid and striker, they seem to like link up really nice. So possession for this one. Width, when we're going forward we want to be a bit more wide, because obviously you do have a left and right mid. You've got the broken RB and X cross, so you want your left and right mids to be like as far out as they can when that ball comes in, because as you know it's really broken. You need someone at the far post, and that helps keep them out wide. Players in the box, we've got 4. So what that will generally do is it'll be your right mid. If you're attacking down the left, it'll be your right mid and your 2 strikers. Vice versa, if you're going down the right. That's all you really need. You don't want your centre mids coming in, because you can get countered attacked fast on this. Like I said, through balls are OP. You don't want to be caught. Your centre mids need to kind of stay back a bit. Corners free and free kicks free. That's irrelevant. You can choose what you want. So this is the kind of team that I used. I used absolutely rapid pace. This isn't the exact team I used, by the way. I just put some players in that that kind of fit the role that of the players I was using. I used Oblak in goal. He was very good, but I packed Courtois today in my reward, so may as well use him, to be honest. So obviously, he gets a good link to Ramos and Varane. Centre backs. To play this way, you do need like a fast centre back because you can get caught. So Varane, obviously you've got Joe Gomez, you've got Manolas, those kind of players, and on the left, I like to have a very good defender. So like Ramos, obviously he's got I think 70 pace on this one, isn't it? I think it's bang on 70. Like you'll rock at the back basically. Ramos, Van Dijk can kind of mix into the Varane role. Those kind of players, I like to partner them. I don't actually mind Thiago Silva. I actually use Thiago Silva, not in this weekend, but I have used him in the past. And who did I pair him with? I think I paired him with Tomori, so the same kind of link. Obviously, he's a lot slower than Ramos, but the way you defend with those defenders is just better. Like you don't take liberties like jumping out. So I don't like to have two fast centre backs because I keep pulling them out because they're fast. I think they can get it, and it doesn't work. So I like to have someone that I need to be calm under pressure with, and that is Sergio Ramos. Fullbacks, I actually used Grimaldo, who is my favourite fullback on the game. Ferland Mendy for me feels a bit too clunky. I'm going to give Telles a go this week just because I need links to Martial. Rashford, sorry, but I use Telles in drafting. He's very good. He's very similar to Grimaldo, not as agile, but in the other stats he's very similar, so hopefully he performs just as well. The other fullback is my untradeable Semedo, so he won't be going anywhere anytime soon. Save 30 grand on him. Semedo's just Semedo, isn't he? I've saw people say like he's the best right back in the game. I wouldn't say that. I'm not a huge fan of Semedo, to be honest. Some games he's a rock, and some games he's just out of position and just running all over the place. So I don't know what triggers that. But he's okay. He's not the best, as some people say. He could be for them, but for me personally, not. Gelson Martins is actually one of my favourite players in this team. He's so fun to use. People think he's like really shit in game. He's 5-star score, the running scoop turn down the right, pulling it back for Rashford and Ben Yedder. RBNX cross, perfect player. On the left, where Martial is, I actually used Dembele. Off came, like 7 came, I think I played him on. Just 5-star skill again. Out wide, running scoop turns, OP. You need to utilise that if you want to get the best results. People are going to do it against you. You've got St. Maximums out there. You can probably put Depay out there, to be honest, but obviously Gelson Martins, the Dembele's, Maximums, they have that pace to go with it, so you kind of want that. You don't want to spend too much money on them unless you've got unlimited coins, because they're not as involved as the central players. So Martins for me works just like when he gets a chance, he does actually score. So for me, I'm not going to go out and spend. You see people who have got mad amount of coins playing Mbappe out wide, and I'm like, I just can't do that. So someone like Gelson Martins for me is very good. You guys probably agree. You probably use St. Maximum. Same kind of mould, same kind of player, so very good. Centre mids, what you want in your centre mids, you want a really fast centre mid basically. You want, like I said, I use Valverde, and Pogba was the other centre mid where Paulinho is, and Pogba's just really sluggish, really sluggish. There was a lot of times where I had chance to counter, had chance to play the ball, and Pogba, he just cling on to it. You couldn't work fast enough with Pogba, and for me, he wasn't a player. I actually used Paulinho in Division Rivals, in Division 1, and he's very good. In my opinion, he's actually better than Pogba. I think it's just Pogba's acceleration. He's not quick off the mark, and when he goes to play the pass, somebody like a Valverde, if he's using against you or a Kante, can just nick in and get it off him. So I would use someone a bit faster. My defensive midfielder, the one I used to track back, was Valverde with the 86 pace. Obviously, you've got Llorente this year, you've got Zacharias, Sissoko works, so you got a lot of options there. But you want one that can break the line, one playmaker basically, and one ball carrier. So one Kante, one playmaker. That's the way I play. That is the way it worked for me. So it might not work for you. That's the way it worked for me. We got up front. The two best players I've used Mbappe on loan and on draft, but owned players. Ben Yedder, I got him untradeable in last week's reward, so I'm going to use him. Rashford, unbelievable. Those two are so good this year. Ben Yedder's always the rat. He's always good, but Rashford this year, he's so OP. See loads of people talk about him as the cheap Mbappe. They're not wrong. They're not wrong at all. Some of the goals he scored for me, like, he just come inside and whip a finesse and he's just barring in, and like, He's very consistent. Better than Martial, a lot better than Martial in my opinion. If you're thinking about playing someone up front, one of those two, do not consider Martial. 100% go for Rashford. I can't explain how good he is. Like, I'll show you his record after this, all in foot champs, and he's incredible. Like, same as Ben Yedder, those two are just incredible. So those are the kinds of players that you need. We'll go to the instructions now. Centre backs, just leave them as they are. Full backs, stay back while attacking. Centre mids, exactly the same. Stay back while attacking and cover centre. Both the left and right mid, you want come back on defence, cut inside, get in behind, get into box. So, like I said, when you've got the ball with the right, you want your left mid to be at the far post. Cut inside also helps with that. Not exactly when... Yeah, that's just not when you're playing the ball to them. Like, they do that if the ball is on the other side of the pitch. Getting behind as well, like I said, you want them on the last man at the fullback. That was exactly the same on both. Strikers, just getting behind. Like, sometimes you do need them to run out wide a tiny bit just to create space, so you don't want them to stay in central. You could probably have one on stay central. Like, I could probably put Ben Yedder on stay central, to be honest, because he hasn't got the pace. Let Rashford do the work. But both getting behind, nothing else. And roles don't really matter. But, like I said, that was the 4-4-2. I've got the 4-2-3-1-2, not the 4-2-3-1-1, the 4-2-3-1-2. You have extra instructions, basically, on your left and right mid that you can't put on your cams, which is, let me tell you, a game changer. Absolute game changer. Quite similar to the 4-4-2, but obviously, where the 4-4-2, your two strikers would be up top. The one drops back and like helps to link play, so that can help when people are playing like formations that are countering you, that are countering the 4-4-2. So someone drop back just to create a bit more, and the 4-2-2. So that is the 4-4-2, guys. Hopefully it helps you. Like I said, my first weekend league, I got 20-4, so I had 6 games left, and I'm in Division 1 with it. So for me, it's working. Hopefully it works for you guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.